Hey guys, this is Coach Bill with Bill Mabry Online Coaching and Team Alcaviva. Hey guys, I want to get on here. I got some more information or disturbing news about the toxic chemicals that are in our source of drinking water. This is some recent information that a nonprofit organization has publicized, and the article was actually published. It came across my desk, and so what I want to do is I want to go right to the article, and I want to read to you guys what they're saying, so you know that it's not coming from me. So let's go ahead and go to the article. Guys, this is the article here, and I'm going to read what they had to say and what newly recently discovered toxic chemicals that they actually found and how it's affecting the American public. So the title of the article is "Warning: Newly Found Toxic Chemicals Found in Your Family Source of Drinking Water." So this is more disturbing news on top of other recently posted information about newly discovered toxic chemicals, especially from one particular one in California. But since 2019, more than 320 toxic substances have been detected in the U.S. drinking water system. According to a new analysis by the Environmental Working Group, the EWG, a nonprofit environmental activist organization, those harmful chemicals are linked to many different types of cancer, adverse birth and reproduction outcomes, impaired brain development, and revolving door of other deteriorating health impacts. The EWG research collected and reviewed results from water contaminants conducted by water utilities and regulators from all 50 states and the District of Columbia. After combining through the data from almost 50,000 water systems serving tens of millions of American households, the researchers found sweeping drinking water contamination from numerous pollutants such as arsenic, lead, per and poly and whatever that is substance, which is PFAS. Now, PFAS is one of the most dangerous toxic chemicals out there because of the size and how it's able to penetrate the blood-brain barrier and the cells at the cellular level. They also found radioactive materials and pesticides, high levels of estrogen, which is causing man boobs with our young boys, and hormonal medication. Now, this is where they also added, and the EPA has also brought this up, they've added that they have found 56 new chemicals were just added recently. Compared to the previous 2019 update to the database, which identified 268 chemicals in Americans' water utilities, the new database added 56 new chemicals on top of that. These substances are new PFAS or emerging pollutants such as pesticides, radioactive material, heavy metals, and are currently mentioned by the Federal Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA. Under the agency's unregulated contaminant monitoring role, however, these substances have yet to receive any legal limits. Guys, this is why it's so important for you to understand and forward this information to your friends and family members, especially those of you that have kids. This is very disturbing, and why isn't it being publicized more by the media? A researcher, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, an environmental health scientist at EWG, who helped construct the tap water database. We are not being exposed to just one contaminant. This is his comment. We are not being exposed just to one contaminant. We are drinking water, said the researcher. We're being exposed to multiple contaminants. Even if your water is below the legal limit, he said, that doesn't necessarily mean it is safe from contaminants. New researchers And the news media are warning us. They have been warning us about the plastic particles found in 99% of the bottled water, which is, there's a short video about that. The bottom line is the EPA is still hiding the truth on how toxic these chemicals are. Now, in this article also, they mentioned that it would take billions of dollars to actually take the chemicals out, and they are looking more into doing that. Now, do you think the water districts or the government is going to take the time and rush into this? No, because that billions of dollars has got to come out of someone's pocket, most likely ours, but they are not going to rush into it at all. Also, the new toxic chemical that they found in the California water, which was publicized on 2023, it has a major concern with the EPA because it's linked to different types of cancer. And so that's a major issue today also. Now, the good news is there is a solution, and I am going to show you what the actual solution is. The Japanese and the Asian countries developed a device that hooks up to your kitchen sink. What it does, it takes your city water and actually converts it into one of the healthiest waters on the planet, known as hydrogen-rich water. Now, what is very important for you to understand is that device that hooks up to your kitchen sinks, it's supposed to take out the most dangerous toxic chemicals that is in your source water. The problem is not all of these devices will do that, and that's why I chose to promote AlkaViva. And this is the reason, these two filters that they have in them. These two filters have been tested by a certified third-party lab, showing that they are going to be taking out 249 of the most dangerous toxic chemicals that actually go into your water, that are actually in your source water. That's what you need to understand. You cannot let that source water go through your electrolysis device with any toxic chemicals in it, because it becomes more bioavailable. Now, I'm going to explain the reason why and how it becomes more bioavailable. Now, these devices, what they do is they produce a very powerful water which has three major properties to it. It has a higher alkalinity, it has a negative ORP, which is a negative OH ion known as a hydroxide ion, and at the third most important property, it actually produces hydrogen H2, which is known by science as being a very therapeutic, powerful antioxidant to the human body. Now, for this water to be therapeutic, and for me to call it a therapeutic water, it has to have all three of these properties. The hydrogen H2 property in it cannot be missing. If this hydrogen H2 molecule is missing, I can no longer call it therapeutic water. But if it has the alkalinity still, the high good alkalinity, and if the water still has that negative ORP or that OH negative ion, the water is still more bioavailable to the cells at the cellular level because of the negative ORP. In other words, because of that water has a negative ORP, it will actually be able to go into the cells more efficiently, because the cells is designed to let water that has a negative ORP enter itself more efficiently, and I'll explain what that means. And so in 2003, guys, these gentlemen here won a Nobel Prize in discovering water channels at the cellular level in each one of the cells. In other words, the channels are so small that it's only going to let a certain amount of water in. Well, they've shown that your city water, which has a positive ORP, and your bottled water, which has a positive ORP, well, the water molecules themselves are bigger, And so they don't actually enter the cell efficiently to hydrate the cell at the cellular level. And that's why people who drink bottled water and city water sometimes say, well, they'll drink a whole bunch of water, but they still feel thirsty. It's because of the structure of the molecule itself is not efficient or is too large to actually enter the cell. Well, when you're drinking water that's hydrogen-rich water that has a negative ORP, and especially if it has a good, if it has 0.5 ppm of hydrogen H2 or higher, it's going to enter the cell more efficiently because the molecule hydrogen H2 is the smallest molecule known on the planet itself. And so if you're looking at this diagram here, which is the diagram of the cell and shows the molecules, notice there's the positive fields here in the cell walls. So if you're drinking water that has a negative ORP, then this cell is going to the cell is going to let those negative ions or the OH negative hydroxide into the cell more efficiently to be able to hydrate the cell more efficiently at the cellular level. Now, this is what remember what I said? You cannot let any of the toxic chemicals that are in the water to enter your cell because it becomes more bioavailable. Remember me saying that? Well, this is the reason. So if your water is not going through a device that can take out 99.9% of the the most dangerous toxic chemicals, then the toxic chemicals that are left in the water after it goes through the electrolysis device and then becomes a negative ORP or has a negative charge to it, then because of the negative charge and because the cells will let that water enter itself more efficiently, you're also letting in the excess toxic chemicals, and that's not what you want to do. You want to make sure that the water that enters your cell at the cellular level is toxic free. Okay? That is why it is so important to make sure that you have a device that is able to take out 99.9% of the toxic chemicals. Now, you guys can go to my teamalcavia.com/drinknatureswater/webpage. Click on Get Started. Go through the short videos and actually see the power of hydrogen-rich water when it has the hydrogen H2 in it, and how this water efficiently will flush out any toxic chemicals that are being stored up in your cells. But still, you need to have the water that is going through the electrolysis device free from toxic chemicals. Okay, guys, I'm back. Guys, again, I want to stress how important it is for you to understand that the water most of the public is drinking here in the United States, especially those of you in California, have massive amounts of toxic chemicals, and they're not being regulated by the government. And so the limit amount, they don't even have, they don't, all they know, and like the EPA said, and the EWG, the toxic chemicals are very concerning to them, because they're showing that they're causing certain cancers and that they need to look into it deeper. But meanwhile, while they're looking into it deeper and they're taking their time because they don't want to spend the billions of dollars that they need to spend to take the toxic chemicals before it gets to your house, you must do something. And so you must look at a device that has over 1,000 pure scientific case studies proving that the water this device produces, hydrogen-rich water, is the most powerful and healthiest water on the planet. And it has to have that hydrogen H2 molecule. Not only must it have high alkalinity, a negative ORP, but it also has to have 0.5 ppm or more, preferably more, of hydrogen H2 for us to call it therapeutic water, and for it to be able to help with many disease models, and that's including cancer. Okay, guys? Again, you can go to my teamalcaviva.com/drinknatureswater/ click on Get Started. You can go through the short videos. When you come to the section, you can actually put your zip code in there, and you can check out what dangerous chemicals are lurking in your source water. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Pass this on to a friend or family member. They need to know this also. You guys have a great day.